Hey guys, this is Tara with Teaching on Lemon Lane, and this is a quick walkthrough through the Disguise a Turkey Thanksgiving art and writing project. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. So before you assign this to your students, you're going to need to decide which type of template or turkey you will be assigning to them. If you're doing digital, you have three different options to pick from. Option one is all picture placeholder shapes and accessories. Option 2 is all shapes, fills, and accessories. And option 3 is both picture placeholder, shape fills, and accessories. There's also the printable option. I'm going to take you really fast through those different options. So before we jump into the digital options, if you'll scroll down through your slides, you'll see the printable versions. And here with the printable versions, you'll notice that I've got different lined options. You can also edit some of these printable portions. If it's for your younger grades, you also have your dashed lines for handwriting, as well as a full-size turkey and writing page. So if you decide to go the printable route, you should have everything that you need with those graphic organizers. Those are editable, so you can kind of edit them to your needs as well. So that's what you've got with the printable versions, but let's go ahead and jump into the digital options that you have to pick from. So let's jump in. The first one is all placeholders. So I'm going to zoom out so you can see what I'm talking about. So what I refer to as a placeholder is any of these patterned shapes. They are picture placeholders, which means I can insert an image using a quick Google search or even a picture from my device into that placeholder. So let me show you what I mean. So this one, I grabbed it from over here. So to grab a picture placeholder, you single click, you hold, and you drag your shape until you place it. And I've sized all of these, so everything should be ready to go unless they're wanting to kind of use them to decorate. But let's go ahead and use this picture placeholder. So to use a picture placeholder, you single click on the picture placeholder that you want. When you do that, replace image becomes an option. Click replace image. I'm going to do search the web. And I've already looked this up. Let's say that we're doing, say, a scarecrow disguise. And so I use denim, pattern, and fabric. By using these different types of keywords, especially pattern or fabric, your search results are going to be better. To insert this image, I simply double click, or I can single click and then click replace. I'm going to double click it and it's going to automatically insert it into my picture placeholder device. So I can use that as I go through and create my disguise. Now, when I'm talking about the search terms, I want you to be aware of this page here. So this is the Google word search bank. And these words here are just going to give you a better search result that's more applicable to what we are doing today. So again, this is option 1. And this is all picture placeholders and all of the accessories. I'll zoom out a little bit more so you can see. So option 1. Let's go into option 2. Option 2 is shapes and placeholders. So the difference between the shapes is, notice when I click on it, replace image isn't an option in my toolbox, but when I click on a picture placeholder, I can do the Google search to insert it. With shapes, they're also a lot of fun. Let's single click, hold and drag, place it where you want it, and then we unclick. If you're having a hard time lining it up, you can also use Command or Control. You hold it in as you move it back and forth, and that allows you to be more precise as you place it. It just depends on the device that you are using. So once I get this placed where I want, I'll show you kind of the difference with a shape. So when I'm using the shape, I'm using any of these dark green teal shapes, and this allows me to change the color of it. So I can pick from any of the solid colors that are already there. I can add my own custom color by using these different scales. I can even change the transparency of the color. Another fun option is to do a gradient. So I would go to my fill color. I would come up here to gradient, and I can pick from what they've already got, or I can create a custom gradient, which this can be fun for students if they didn't know about this before. So you would click plus on the custom. And then I'm going to add a couple gradient stops. For every gradient stop I add, that's going to be a color that I need to assign. And essentially, these are just going to kind of fade into each other. So I click on that first stop, and we'll pick a color. Second stop, add another color. Third gradient stop, maybe a pink. And the last one, we can go with an orange. Now, depending on how I want it to fade, it can either be linear, or radial. And then I can also choose where and which direction I kind of want it to fade. So once I have it how I want it to look, I would go ahead and click OK. And that's going to change that shape to the gradient stop that I've created. So students can have a lot of fun with that as well. Again, the difference between the two: pattern is a picture placeholder, which we use the replace image in a Google search to insert a type of fabric or texture to create the disguise. Shapes are where we use the fill bucket to kind of add to it. And then on top of the accessories, students build their disguise. The third option would be the simplest, and this is just simply the color fill shapes. So again, the three different options: we have pattern, pattern and shape, or just shape. Now, with these templates here, I've included a space where students can actually write their paragraph or their essay or their story on the same page. You'll notice there's also an option with all of those different placeholders or picture placeholders or just shapes that you can also pick from. But if you want students just to simply be disguising their turkey digitally, these without the place for the final essay or final draft is a great option as well. The next thing I want to show you is how students can insert a setting into their background. So let's say that I disguised my turkey as a scarecrow, and now I'm done and I want to edit the background. So I come up here and I single click on this button, and when I click on this button, replace image becomes an option. So I come up here to replace image, and now I'm going to search the web. I think a great place for a scarecrow would be a cornfield. So I'm going to do corn filled, and I'm going to add background to my search to hopefully help my search results. Perfect. I've got some great options. I double click on the one that I want, and it's automatically going to insert it behind my disguised turkey. Next, if you want students to save this and be able to, send it to you or send it to loved ones or just display it digitally somehow, the way that you would save this is students would click on their disguised turkey slide, and then you come up here to File, Download, and then they're going to download it as an image file. So PNG or JPEG is a great option. You click it, and then it'll automatically download that image, anything that's within the slide, to your device. Please note that all of these slides are set up to be printer friendly. If you want it to be printer friendly as far as ink goes, and you want to display these using the bulletin board that I've included, instead of inserting a colored background, I would suggest that you click where that button is. Remember, that's that top corner. We'll come up here to replace image. And again, this is if you're wanting to print it and display, or print it and then have students, color in the background or the setting that they want to use. That's also an option. You would go to search the web. And the little trick that I have for this is you're simply just going to search white background. And I just simply click on the first one. It'll insert a solid white background covering up that button and allowing you to print their digital disguise and display it on hand. So that's a little trick that you can do if you want to print those out. Next, let's look at the graphic organizers. I've included a narrative graphic organizer as well as a persuasive graphic organizer, as well as your kind of revisions and draft page. Let's just look at those really fast. Notice that I have made this editable, so you can go in and edit this to kind of your liking or the way that you teach. This is how I would do it. Persuasive graphic organizer, same way. You can go in and edit this if you need. Revisions and draft page, as well as a final page here where they can kind of type the title. These pages are also included with a printable counterpart. So I'll show you what those look like there. Okay, let's say that you're wanting to assign this digitally to your students. This is one of the first things that I go over in that instruction page with the Getting Started. So let's head back to that Getting Started page. So we need to make a student copy of the slides that we're going to be using. We want to make sure that we're not assigning a master slide. So a master copy would be your copy here, but instead we're assigning a copy of the slides that you want the students to interact with. So the way that we do that is we're going to select the different slides that we want students to be able to see, interact with, and edit with. So I'm going to go ahead and select an example. And then what I'm going to do, you're either going to hold down the command button or the control button, depending on what type of device that you're using. So I'm also going to include the instructions that I've included with the students. I'm using a Mac and I use the command button. So as I click on these individual slides, I'm holding down the command button, and that allows me to click more than one slide and kind of pick and choose which ones I want included. I'm also going to include the digital planning page, the word search bank, and then I want students to do the turkey with both the shapes and the placeholders. So that's the one I click. And I keep scrolling down. At the end of it, I'm going to have them do a persuasive essay. So I make sure that I select the graphic organizer, the draft page, the final page, and then my favorite is the rate and reflect, which is also editable. So you can go in and edit how you need. So now that I have all of those slides selected, I let go of command and it keeps my individual slides selected or highlighted. And now what you're going to do is you would come up here to File, then you're going to say Make a Copy, and you're going to click Selected Slides. That's going to make a copy of only the slides that you've selected. So I would probably do Disguise a Turkey, and then I would edit it to say Student Copy. And then I would click OK. And then that will make a copy of those slides, making it really easy to assign these to my students or assign these slides through Google Classroom. So make sure you make a student copy of those slides that you need. Last few things to go over. When I'm talking about the insert the picture placeholder, I showed you how to do the Google search image. You could also click on a picture placeholder and it would give you the option to either upload from the computer, use a camera, or a Google Drive. For this specific product, though, I would suggest just sticking to the Google search. You'll also notice I've got some extension ideas here that might be a fun thing to do with your class, so make sure that you check those out. Lastly, let's go check out the bulletin board idea. So again, if you're wanting to do the digital disguise a turkey, but you still want to print it out and have the bulletin board, I suggest inserting that white background into the back just to make it a little bit more printer friendly, and then printing it out like I've done so here and displaying it this way. So this is an example of what your bulletin board can look like. I've included a giant turkey, so when you print him out and you would just assemble the different pieces together, kind of like a puzzle, so that you can have this really fun look right here. The bulletin board kit is editable, so you can go ahead and edit these letters or the words however you need. And notice that I include easy to cut shapes because I know that your time is valuable. Also, if you find yourself cutting things out that the students can cut out, let them help you. So here's your different border options. Notice there's only 2 pages right here. Obviously, 3 of these is not going to be enough to cover your whole bulletin board. So click which one you want, and then what you can do is you can right click on that, and then it will give you the duplicate slide option. And when you duplicate it, it'll add another slide, and you can add as many as you would need, or you can just, do the print option and print as many copies as you need of that one. So to use the duplicate slide to increase however many of the borders that you need if you're going to use the borders. I've also included the turkey that's just larger if you don't want to put them together puzzle-wise. There's 2 different turkey options here, 1, 2, and even 3 where I've put the glasses on it to kind of simplify things so you don't have to cut out the glasses and then assemble them. Or we've got the larger turkey that you put together kind of like a puzzle. And then you can cut out these fun accessories to add to your bulletin board as well. Here's your letter options. Again, you can go in and edit the letters to whatever letter you need. Right now, the way that I have it, it is ready to print, and it will say turkeys in disguise. And this also is editable. If you want to do more printer friendly, you can simply just go with the white pennant banners. Obviously, you would need more letters than this. So the same thing, you would come, right click on the slide over here, and then duplicate that slide for as many of the letters that you need. And then this one you can type here and kind of add words or other things that you would be doing there. But everything's set up and ready for you to go. If you have any questions, please let me know. This is one of my favorite activities, and I think you are going to love it. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.